Okay, welcome back. Let's put the focus on the logistics space now in terms of corporate conversations. Mahindra Logistics is the next company which is on our radar. The company had earlier said that their second half FY23 revenue momentum will be slower than what they'd seen in the first half of the financial year. Rampraveen Swaminathan is Managing Director and CEO at Mahindra Logistics. He's joining us right now to take some questions. So thanks very much. Great to have you with us here. Appreciate your time as always. So I just want to start with just an update on what you told us earlier. Now that we are in the last quarter of this financial year, how are things looking? Which are the segments of the business which are still firing? E-com, for example, is about 18-20% of the business for you. How's that doing? And how are the other segments doing?
Good morning. I think the first 3 quarters have broadly been positive. I think revenue growth's been 26% year on year, so that's still pretty strong momentum. But as we said earlier, we do expect some slowdown. The automotive and farm markets are still holding up. They continue to show robustness. And most of the consumer businesses also are holding up, though growth is a bit slower. I think e-com is where we are seeing a more precipitated kind of slowdown. Overall, we're still in line with what we said earlier, that the second half will see slower growth in the first half.
The second half will see slower growth in the first half. You had mentioned this a while back. You had a target of 10,000 crore revenues in the next 4 to 5 years. Would you want to tweak that given the slowdown? And what would the near-term revenue targets look like, say in FY24?
No, I think we don't give guidance on it, but we're still pretty much focused on that target. We kind of said we want to be in that zone of around 10,000 crores, somewhere in the F26-27 window. And that's something which we're still focused on. We are not kind of resetting that vision. This is just a short-term blimp. We have a very diversified market mix and a diversified service portfolio. And so we are pretty confident about that long-term view.
Okay, so 10,000 crores by FY27 is what we should work with, right, in terms of revenues?
Yeah, that's been the vision which you said, so we're still on course.
Okay, and on e-commerce particularly, I mean, you were talking about the slowdown over there. It's almost 20% of your revenues. How much could it slow down to in the next 1 to 2 years?
No, I think it's the growth trajectory which is slowing down, and it's not growth itself. We operate largely in the first mile and mid mile of the business and have some position in last mile. So I think where we are seeing the impact really is consolidation of warehousing and mid mile infrastructure. So there is a bit of a slowdown, but it's not negative growth as such. And expect that to probably have a carry till F23 festive season, probably till the Diwali week of this year.
So at least for a few more quarters, right?
A couple of quarters.
Because this will give us a sense of the broader consumer sentiment as well. Is this a unit volume slowdown in e-commerce as you see it? Or this, as you said, perhaps is a function of excess capacity which was created, warehouses, etc., which now is, I mean, it's taking time to grow to the level of volume that we will see this year and next year and beyond.
I think I've said this, as I said earlier, it's not really unit volume slowdown or reduction. It's really the fact that capacity is being added a bit, higher than demand growth. And because of some changing patterns, the shift towards marketplace volumes or seller volumes, there's a slowdown in the warehousing programs which we run. Unit volume is still growing. Inside volume is still growing.
Okay, we will have to keep the conversation short. Thanks a lot for joining in and giving us a quick update on how business is shaping up. We hope you wade through this challenging situation. Thanks a lot for joining in.